The 10 enemy regulation forces. First one, disrespect. Second one, frustrate. Third, humiliate. Fourth, agitate. Fifth, aggravate. Sixth, provoke. Seventh, classify. Eighth, exploit. Ninth, extort. And 10th, destroy. These 10 things right here that I just mentioned, these are the details of the sword that the devil uses to bore into we, to stop us all from being what we were destined to be, the soul itself. Peace, love, unity, and advancement, calmness, serenity, love, and righteousness, and all things good, beautiful, normal, and natural. The previous video, in which these fiends altered my phone and hacked the progress again, or hacked the quality again, to ensure that my streak of no civilians being able to hear me continues, which gives them more chances to steal everything I post and use it against you all. So this is going to be the 10 enemy regulation forces right here. This video right here. Out of my final 9 soul liberation hierarchies. This one will be playing as the 6th one. There is 9 in total that tell a story of how to kick the devil off of the sword in which it is boring into the family body globally. And once we kick the devil off of the sword, we can then take the sword out of the 7th hierarchy. This is the 6th hierarchy I'm on. We can then take the sword out of the 7th hierarchy and sheathe it using the tactics and or information of the 8th hierarchy. Now, what is the 8th hierarchy going to be called? The major visual words. It's all just a spiritual parable, flushing the evil in which is plaguing our mind heart spaces into the open, so that you all may deal with it accordingly. Maybe. I keep on saying things like, when it comes to the white people, I'm just going to spiritually kill them all. As within, so throughout. Take those words however you want them. Remember, this is their hell. Even though the devil only has the sword bore into the family body globally by way of an influence, it's still their kind that cannot only fight against the influence. They can't fight against the influence. Not only that, but they want to do it and are very, very happy to do it. Now, does the happiness come with the entrenchment? Yes. In other words, the devil also makes you happy to destroy the lives of others for shits and giggles. Once again, the devil's entrenchment works in the following regard. It makes you happy and prideful and satisfied with ruining the lives of others for shits and giggles. And this here hierarchy that I'm telling you about right now, the 10 enemy regulation forces, it is of the devil's sword and how the devil enforces or bores what it is, the 16 evil supremacy dimensions, into our mind heart space's psyche, and drives the nature of itself thereof to within and throughout us all unto the environment. Recap. The first 4 hierarchies represent what I like to label and describe as the 4 fundamental forces of the prana standard, or the 4 fundamental forces of the natural standard. The spiritual, I got the 12 spiritual crop lines, or the 12 spiritual combos, or the 12 spiritual combination words. That's the first hierarchy. And then I have the 12 soul directional words, or the 12 soul dimensions, or the 12 soul directional dimensions, that hierarchy. And then the third one, I have the 12 environmental purification forces and or the 12 standard reestablishment forces. That's the third hierarchy. And then the 4th hierarchy, I have, the 12 divine task. Damn it. The 12 divine task was the third one. The 12 divine task was the third one. The 12 physical divine task was the third one. And then the 4th one are the 12, then the 4th hierarchy, not the third one. The 12 environmental purification forces and or the 12 divine tasks, or the 12 standard reestablishment forces. Third hierarchy, the 12 the 12 physical divine tasks, and fourth hierarchy, the 12 environmental purification forces, or the 12 standard reestablishment forces. That's the fourth hierarchy. In the fifth hierarchy, the 16 evil supremacy dimensions, the wielder of the sword, which is the sixth hierarchy, the one I'm on right now and or focusing on right now and telling you about right now. The 7 to 9 to 10 enemy regulation forces. The 10 enemy regulation forces. Let me just keep it there. Now, what are the specific details? Now, in the previous video that these people ruined behind the scenes, acting like they didn't ruin it, knowing that they did, knowing that they do everything in their lives every day, don't only ruin ours. It's going to be, take these 4 words with you. These 4 specific words with you. Elements, senses, prana, environment. Elements, senses, prana, environment. Elements, senses, prana, environment. Elements, senses, prana, environment. Elements, they come from source. Senses, they are of the ego. Prana, your standard, your physical somatic standard. And then the environment, the conditioning of what your psyche manifests unto. Whatever the conditioning of what your psyche is, manifests unto the environment. Next. The 10 enemy regulation forces. I have them lined up in the following way. So, using the current of liberation upon the, what I like to label and describe as the 10 chakra system. Remember, real quick as well, the chakras harbor or are the spiritual powers, or are they harbor the spiritual powers of your senses and the elements in its information or in its details or in its work or in its artwork. You follow what I'm saying? The information of the chakras, the information regarding the chakras harbor the information of both your senses and the elements within them. The chakras are a mediator. The chakras are our spiritual powers. Remember, spirit at base are the 5 senses. That means your hearing first, then your touch, your sensory factor touch, meaning your physical vessel body. You get your entire flesh with the second sense. You get your entire flesh with the second sense. After hearing comes your entire body. As within, so throughout. And then next, you get your sight, third, the fire element. Sound is ether. The physical body, this is air. Sight is fire. Taste after the fire. Taste after the fire or after the sight. And then after the taste, you get your smell, the apana. Remember, it's all connected and all hooked up and all construed and all constructed into one magnificent, beautiful thing. Your actual self. But remember, your actual self is simply the engine and the seat in one area. If you study it by way of the dimensions and whatnot, remember, the word dimension, Latin origin, dimetri, meaning measure out. Your actual self is the mediator between the Most High God's energy and your physical body's nature. Your actual self is the mediator, meaning what forms a connection between the Most High God's just love energy and your physical body's behavior. Your physical body, you. So, the 10 chakra system in which I'm going to be using, counting it from the current of liberation, meaning from the highest chakra on the list on down to the lowest one. The soul star chakra, the crown chakra, the third eye chakra. Remember, I don't have it in the chakra tree Murdy order. I just have it in the regular order of which it is. So once again, soul star chakra, crown chakra, third eye chakra. And then you have throat chakra, heart chakra, solar plexus chakra. And then you have sacral chakra, root chakra, earth star chakra. And then the final one, the Akasha chakra. What I like to call the Akasha chakra. You don't have to accept the Akasha chakra. That's kind of made up. But at any rate, so the 10 enemy regulation forces lined up in the following sequence: disrespect, frustrate, humiliate, Agitate, aggravate. Provoke, classify. Exploit, extort, and destroy. Those 10 things, those 10 regulation forces in which the so-called white people carry out unto us all to bring the devil's energy into reality. In other words, the white people, through these 10 words, through these 10 methods, bring the devil's energy from the source of all immoral authority as it is into our physical reality. And here's how it can make more sense to you. Now, to connect them. So, disrespect, targeting the soul star chakra. Then you got frustration, targeting the crown chakra. Disrespect, the opposite of respect, of course. And frustration, what is his little definition? To ruin the pathway in which something is traveling. Ruin the pathway of which something is traveling. Like, for example, the crown chakra is trying to generate just love energy to within and throughout us all into our physical environment and or into our physical reality. But what they do is stop that and ensure just hatred elicits from us all. They put the problem in, draw the problem out, and set up a fake solution for us all to fall in. But they first have to draw their fake problem that they put in out of us. And this is how they regulate it, or this is how, or these 10 words are some of the things that you can use to label and describe how they do just this. Put the devil's energy into the world. Remember, they are the sword. They are playing as a proud sword. They are proud to be the devil's sword. They are proud to be the devil's sword. All the white people on the planet are. And anywhere they are in the galaxy. Anywhere they are in reality. Anything with a skin that ain't right. Wherever those kinds of people are located, they act as the devil's sword, whether they are the civilians, the subtle nature of the devil's nature, the military force, the violent, oppressive nature of the devil's nature, or the white leadership, the trickery nature of the devil's nature. Still the one devil's nature regardless. The devil has many names, many attributes, many aspects, many faces that it puts on. Still the same force, evil, wrong, screw your life up for no reason at all. So, frustration, targeting the crown chakra. Humiliation, targeting the third eye chakra. Agitation, through the throat chakra. Aggravation, to aggravate. What does the word aggravate mean? To add insult to injury. To kick someone while they're down. What does the word agitate mean? To annoy. And then humiliate, meaning to embarrass. Make you see what is in the form of humiliation all day. Look at it this way real quick, so we can counteract some of the things they're doing and stop them from being able to do it, using the techniques of how we are to do so. Embarrassed. A good friend of mine who I was talking to a while ago, who was working here with me in the same job that I was working in, but due to all the white spies who have been harassing me and stalking me around my entire life to ensure I die faster or die earlier, so I don't get a chance to live a good life, they rearranged him or gave him some kind of offer to leave the job, and now he works somewhere else and not with me, even though he's been there for like 8-10 years. And then I just come along, and all of a sudden, due to the games that white folks want to play on my life, now he's out of there. But at any rate, so he had a talk with me at one point talking about the word embarrassed. Do you feel embarrassed? Do you feel embarrassed? Embarrassed. Remember, the enemy wants to humiliate you all day long for no reason at all. How can you take something like that and flip it for good? And when I say flip it for good, I mean stop them from being able to do it anymore. Embarrassed. You know, we started off that way. We started off in bare behind. That's the kind of talk. That's what I gathered from him when we were having that talk. That's how we started out anyways. And your bare self revealed to the world. No alterations done unto your body, though. And as time went, you decided to put other things on or dress yourself up in a different way. Of course, every choice that you ever made in your entire life, the devil was involved in the footsteps of them. Through the white people, the sword, this hierarchy I'm telling you about right here, and their connection to the chakras, or the mediator. The chakras are the mediator. The chakras are the mediator between source energy and physical body, and the physical body. The mediator between the transpersonal plane and the somatic plane. That's what the chakras are. When you read them off on a dimensional rank, they are. Or when you study them from the dimensional aspect of which they are. The one system. Disrespect, frustrate, humiliate, agitate, aggravate, provoke. Provoke lands on the solar plexus chakra. Remember, the solar plexus chakra, before I go on, aggravate lands on the heart chakra. Aggravation lands on the heart chakra. The concept of kicking someone while they're already down. Remember, the heart chakra is directly involved with our physical actions. It's directly involved with our physical actions. And it's also the sense of touch, the sense of feeling. So that means your physical body there. Frustration targeting the heart chakra. Or aggravation targeting the heart chakra. Aggravation targeting the heart chakra, right? From the enemy. They are the sword. And by what I mean by this proverbial sword, I mean they are the way that the devil gets its evil 16 supremacy dimensions into our physical world. Through the white people, which are the 10 enemy regulation forces, the devil is able to get its evil 16 supremacies dimensions into our physical reality, implanted into our physical environment as the evil, ugly, abnormal, and artificial behavioral practices in which it is, of which it is. You follow me? So, now we're on, and then the word aggravate means, of course, to kick someone while they're down. So you brought the physical body down by putting problems in them, drawing problems out, and having fake solutions for them set up so you can get them into the fake solutions and constantly kick them while you already have them down physically. Next one now. Provoke. Provoke lands on the solar plexus chakra. Provoke. Provoke. Remember, every moment of their existence, they only live to manipulate you into accepting the devil's behavior. They only live to manipulate you into accepting the devil's behavior. And what is the devil's behavior? You and everything you know of failing at everything and suffering to death. Or driving you to do it. And blaming you for the actions in which it is causing you to do. Forcing you to behave the complete opposite of what you are naturally. And then saying you're the reason why it's happening. Real quick, no one alive is accepting this. No one alive is asking for this. No one alive is in desiring of this. No one is. We are being attacked by this. And you are being taught to say we are accepting it. Or you are being taught to say this is what we wanted for ourselves. That's ignorance right there. No one is choosing this. Nobody is. Regardless of what you say with your mouth and all of your made up feelings and all of your ridiculous mixed emotions and all of your metaphors and nothing that makes sense at all that comes out of your mouth. Remember, they are attacking us with this. We are not asking for any of this at all. None of us are. And then for you, with your naive brain, to sit there and try to force me to believe, I ask for all of it. Just shows how ignorant you truly are. To all of you and or any of you who think in this regard. Stop giving the enemy power. Stop defending the enemy. Moving forward. Then the next one is to classify. That lands on the sacral chakra. Classification landing on the sacral chakra. Remember, everything that they do is to tell you who you are. They always want to sit up here and tell you that you're the one choosing all of this to happen to your life, when in reality, they just will not stop bringing it in. They only live to be our ruin. They only live to be our ruin. They only live to be the devil's sword. They only live to be the devil's sword. You should be offended, or at least see some kind of problem in whatever they call you, anytime that they call you the thing they call you. Moving forward. And then the next one is to exploit. Exploit lands on the root chakra. Exploitation lands on the root chakra. Am I missing one? Disrespect, frustrate, humiliate, agitate, aggravate, provoke, classify, exploit or extort. No, I'm not missing one. Exploit or extort, I'm not. Okay. Exploit, targeting the root chakra. Exploitation, and then extortion, targeting the earth chakra. Why do you think extortation is targeting the earth chakra and exploitation is targeting the root chakra? Remember, our physical body on an ethereal view is the root chakra. We're the root. Humanity is the root. Humanity is the root. We're the root chakra ourselves, all of we. And they want to exploit us to extort our resources, don't they? You see how it all lands? Now, do you think we're asking them to exploit us? Do you think we're asking them to exploit us to extort our resources? Do you think we're asking for that? We're not. But you want to know what is happening? They're just appearing out of nowhere and making us go for it. With trickery and bribery and influence. And guns and missiles and bombs. You think we're asking for them to blow up our properties and blow up our homes? Do you think we're asking for that? Always remember, never forget. This ain't no character development in which they are trying to put us through. They are simply trying to ensure we do nothing but die faster. They only want us to die faster. Period. There ain't no diamond in the rough. It ain't no building you up to train or deal with this nightmare, deal with the garbage. No, they are simply trying to ensure everything alive dies faster. That's it. Even themselves. Remember, they are following the devil's orders. The devil's orders. Whatever the devil wants you to do is fail at everything and suffer to death. Everything that the devil wants you to do is fail at everything and suffer to death. So how are white people successfully enslaving us all? Because they're doing it their way, not the devil's necessarily. They're doing it the devil's way, but they're trying to make it their way as much as possible. And this is why we see so many of them killing each other in their ranks. Because they're supposed to be failing at everything and suffering to death as they're making us fail at everything and suffer to death. Why do you think there's so many homeless people out here? Homeless whites building up those little diseases to wipe out 50 million of us again. Moving forward. And then the 10th and final one, targeting the Akasha, destroy. Destroy is the 10th and final one. Because remember, they only live to destroy all of nature. And what is the Akasha? Nature. The Akasha means ether. Ether is nature. So now to close out this video, am I giving some kind of insight to how a literal mother nature can be comprehended? Since you do see this entire reality at its base as divine feminine energy. In so many ways, yes. The Akasha is Mother Nature. Akasha is Mother Nature. In my opinion, it is. Because electron energy at its source is negative energy. And negative energy at base is what you would label and describe as the divine feminine energy. But see, wicked and sinister feminine energy is what we are up against here truly. Wicked and sinister evil feminine energy is what we are up against here truly. Yeah, I get it. You're finding out more about the food and how poison the food is, how poison the air is, how poison the water is, how poison the people is, how poison the programming is, and how poison everything you see is. That's great you're finding out about that. But why is it being inserted into our world? Because of this evil, sinister, feminine energy. At its core, that's what it is. We beat it and we subjugate it. We turn it back into the force in which it truly is for us. Because right now, this evil, sinister, feminine energy, as the evil 16 supremacy dimensions, bores its way into all of humanity by way of the 10 enemy regulation forces, BKA, what is known as the so-called white people worldwide. How do we stop this? How do we beat it? How do we get out of it? You can either A, beat the influence, or B, beat the white people. Other than that, you will be enslaved for all the days of your lives. Shalom, shalom, shalom. May these words also reach you for the purpose in which they were intended to reach you for, the knowledge of how to get out of hell. And this is the completion of the 6th hierarchy on my list of the 9 final saga hierarchies, or the 9 soul liberation hierarchies. This hierarchy is called the 10 enemy regulation forces. And the purpose of me making it, and the purpose of me trying to put it in video form for it to reach you, is to tell you how you can apply these things to get out of the white folks' hell. And so, peace, love, unity, and advancement to you all, my family.